Today's lesson is going to be about the properties of exponents, which will be used both in the Chapter 5 and Chapter 6 and next semester. So to start off, if you have a to the m plus a to the m, this is just combining like terms. You do not change your exponents, and this is 2a to the m. However, if your base is the same and you are multiplying, then you will add your exponents. If you have multiplying in this way, we will multiply our exponents. Our rule for this situation when you're dividing is to subtract your exponents. Anything to the 0 power is always 1. If you have a negative exponent, then it needs to change location from the numerator to the denominator or from the denominator to the numerator. And then it will have a positive exponent. Here we will, in a sense, distribute the m to both the a and the c. And we can do the same thing in this case. The key when you are simplifying is that when you're done, you should have no negative exponents. Alright, so let's give some of these a try. We are going to give an exact answer. So here we will do 4 times negative 2. This is 3 to the negative 8th power. Because we have a negative exponent, it must be brought to the denominator. And our rule is going to be, we are going to write out numbers that are 4 digits or less. So if you type 3 to the 8th into your calculator, you actually get 6,561. Since that's 4 digits or less, we will write it like this. If it's more than 4 digits, we will leave it as a power. Okay, here will become 5 to the 3rd over 8 to the 3rd, and we will check both of those. Both are 4 digits or less. So 125 over 512. Alright, negative 2 to the negative 3rd and negative 2 to the 9th. Your base is the same, so what we can do is add our exponents. This is negative 3 plus 9 is 6. Negative 2 to the 6th power is 64. Please notice that if you do not have the parentheses, you will not get the same thing. This is negative 64, so be careful about that. Okay, our next problem. On the bottom, we can do some simplifying. This will become 4 to the positive 15th. Times 9 to the negative 5th. And now this 9 to the negative 5th, it is a negative exponent. That means it needs to move up. There's already one 9 on top, so when I move the 9 to the 5th up, I will have 6 9s. 9 to the 6th. And then with our 4s, the base is the same. Since we're dividing, we will subtract our exponents. 15 minus 5 is 10. And that will stay here. If you type either of these in, you're going to get 5 or more digits, so we will leave this as a power. All right, on to the back. Let's try some more. All right, let's take a look. We're going to multiply our exponents here. A to the 6th. Over c to the negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Again, a negative exponent, you need to move it. Since it's in the denominator, we will move it up to the top. And once it moves, it is a positive exponent. Let's give this one a try. Negative y squared. This is just the same as saying negative 1 raised to the 5th power So that is negative y to the 10th. And then you have all these other y's. All of these have the same base and they are multiplying. So we will add our exponents. 10 plus 2 minus 12, that's actually just 0. And this is like saying negative 1 times 1 times 1 is negative 1. But y to the 0 power is just 1 in itself. So negative 1 is your answer. Next, we need to take care of the parentheses, so we will do that. Distribute that 3. The negative 1 multiplies to the 3. And then we'll take a look. I notice that the r's are dividing, and so I can subtract the exponents. This is a 1 right here. So 3 minus 1 is 2, so r squared. Notice I'm putting it at the bottom because that's where the bigger exponent was. This s right here needs to move up to the top, and once it moves up it will be positive, so there will be 5 s's on the top. Next, be careful when you take this 3. This is not 3 times 3, it's 3 to the 3rd and x to the 6th. 3 to the 3rd is 27. Your coefficients, we are going to divide like normal. 27 over 6 reduces to 9 over 2. And we will subtract our exponents. 6 minus 5 is 1, and that just goes on top. All right, we have 4 more. These are the really fun ones. All right, let's take care of multiplying our exponents. X to the 56 over y to the 32. Y to the 30 over x to the 30. And this is really one big fraction you can think of it as. So my x's can subtract, or my exponents can. 56 minus 30 is 26. My y's exponents will subtract also, but the y to the 2 will go on the bottom because that's where the larger one was. Next, if you want, you can take this negative 5 and you can go ahead and use it right now. However, I would recommend simplifying the inside first. So the 3 over 2 is already good. That can't reduce anymore. K to the 5th, k to the 3rd. We subtract our exponents and should get k to the 2nd. 9 minus 8 is just m on the bottom. So now this is simplified, and now I will take this negative 5. And remember, that goes to everything. Your exponents multiply with your regular numbers. It's just 2 to the negative 5th and 3 to the negative 5th. And now everything has a negative exponent, so really it's going to flip-flop. And then the last thing we need to do is actually do 2 to the 5th, which is 32. And 3 to the 5th is 243. And there's your answer. Next is G. Let's take care of our parentheses first. You can also go ahead and do this top part if you want. So 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Let's see, you have an a and an a to the negative 3. When I add those, I get a to the negative 2. Don't worry, I'll deal with that in a second. Negative 4 and 5 makes just a 1. This becomes 3 squared a squared, which is 9a squared. So now 9 times 40 is 360. I have an a squared and a to the 5th, which is a to the 7th. C to the negative 7, D to the negative 5. So now I will go ahead and I will start reducing. Negative 24 over 360. Oops. Is negative 1/15. This A is going to go to the bottom, so there will now be 9 on the bottom, because remember, once it moves down, it's a positive. Our C to the negative 7 will move up, so we'll have a C to the 8th on top. And our D also needs to move up, but it will not combine with anything. And there you go. All right, just one more. Again, I suggest simplifying first. This negative I'm going to put with the 4. Negative 4 over 8 is a negative 1/2. This A to the negative 4 will come up. I will add my exponents. And the C to the 0, that's just 1, so that can just cancel, and you just have a C to the 5th on the bottom. We are raising this whole thing to the negative 3rd power. Make sure you put that negative 1 in parentheses. It's not as important since it's an odd exponent, but it's just a really good habit. Okay, multiplying our exponents. All of them are negative, so they will flip-flop. And remember, when they flip-flop, we have positive exponents now. And that means your final step is just to evaluate your numbers. So 2 to the 3rd is 8. Negative 1 to the 3rd is negative 1. So I'll just bring the negative out front. And there you go. All right, I hope this was helpful to both your Chapter 5 test and also the beginning of Chapter 6. Have a good one.